What's next for Alex Pereira after UFC 307? We're going to preview Brandon Royval versus Tetsuro Taira going down this Saturday night in Las Vegas. And if you can't tell, the Yankees are in the playoffs. Let's go!
Let's go!
You know, I'm geared up. First pitch about to go down in Kansas City. Time to put the Royals away. The boys are all here. Freddie's here. AJ's here.
What's up? What's up, sexy guy? What's up, Mr. Purple Belt? What's
Ooh.
up?
Oh, yeah, I got that. I got it over here on my desk.
Congratulations, bud. There you go. Look at this guy. He's prepared.
Oh, thank you.
Us.
Thank you,
That's
guys.
good.
Thank
Honestly,
you.
man, that's impressive, dude. That's impressive. What happened, man?
And Gleyber Torres just hit a leadoff double. Let's go. It's Gleyber Day.
Woo,
Thank you. Yeah.
Johnny's coming in hard.
Is that Yankee watch along?
A little bit. I think it may turn into that, honestly, because Fred.
Screw MMA.
Yo, this UFC card this weekend is weak, okay? And the Yankees are on the verge of eliminating the Kansas City Royals. They win tonight, they advance to the ALCS. So
yesterday
hot and heavy,
you got
man.
your purple belt, and I felt like I couldn't cheer for the Royals on the day that you got your purple belt. But today's a new day, so I'm cheering for the Royals today, man. Fuck the Yankees.
Oh, Soto!
Oh.
Oh, he bobbled it! Run scores! Yes, Soto with a single to right. Right fielder bobbled it. Gleyber Torres goes from second to home. Yankees up 1-0 in the first. Nobody out. Here comes Aaron Judge, the captain. Woo. Yes. This is how a game is supposed to start. That's what I'm talking about. 2 batters and a run. Thank you, guys. Let's see some run production. Let's take these guys out early and let Garrett Cole.
New York already
relax.
has a team into the next round.
They're going to have 2.
They're behind them. Yankees are second.
Sorry, rest
right
of the
now.
world. Sorry, everybody that hates New York and everything New York. But the World Series is going to be New York, New York. I think I've predicted from the start it's going to be a Subway Series. And the Yankees, of course, are going to beat the Mets. New York, New York, greatest city in the world.
Didn't Gary Carter play for the Mets at one point?
He did. Won the World
We
Series
gotta go for the
with
Mets,
the Mets.
man. Exactly. So I'm just saying, Dave. No one greater than Gary Carter here in Montreal.
I mean, there are greater people than Gary Carter in Montreal.
What?
A lot of those hockey guys, people, are more beloved.
Yeah, in a
overall,
sense, yes.
I
But
think.
in baseball, man,
Right.
legend Gary Carter, man.
Yeah. I mean, to me, he's not Pedro Martinez.
Rose.
Pedro was the guy for me.
Yeah,
Pedro
he was, man.
Martinez was
Oh, yeah.
the man.
Tim Raines, man, Andre Dawson. These guys were like legends, man.
Yep.
Larry Walker, Chris
Yep.
Beer.
I don't know
Think
if you
about
know
it,
this
man.
here. I don't know if you could see, but this is Tim Raines.
What? And I just said I had no
Yeah.
way that you were wearing that. Wow,
Oh, yeah.
talk about coincidence, man.
I love Tim Raines.
He was the
You know,
best,
Tim
man.
Raines
He's-
won a World Series in 1996 with the New York Yankees.
That's right. He was on that team. Jesus.
Yes, he was.
How about Andre Dawson? Did he ever bag one with the World Series? I remember he was with Chicago. I can't remember after.
I don't think so. Unless he was on that Marlin team, but I don't think so.
Aaron Judge just hit into a double play. You got to be kidding me.
So what,
Hey,
he's
man.
still hitless for the series or something
He's
like
got
that?
one hit.
One hit?
He's batting like he's horrible. He's been awful. He can't get anything going. Hey, I don't want to hear that
What
sound
the
now.
hell
That's the
was
sound
that?
that's played when the Yankees strike somebody out, not when we get it, not when we're out. That's disrespectful. Let's not do that. We don't do that. That sound effect is when Garrett Cole strikes somebody out. Not when we record an out on offense. That's rude. That was
Listen,
a double
man, I got to
play.
apologize to you, Dave, because at the beginning of the season, man, the Yankees were doing really terribly. And I said, man, I don't think it's going to be a good season. And here they are, man. You're right.
Here they are. A win away from
Yep.
the American League Championship Series. I'm very excited. This could be the year. This could be the
Johnny's
World Series.
going hard.
Johnny's just being
going hard.
ridiculous. Here's the thing. Johnny's a hater. A lot of people are haters. When you're a Yankee fan, everybody wants to hate. Everybody wants to hate on the Yankees. Everybody wants to disrespect the Yankees. when the fact of the matter remains that the Yankees are the greatest franchise in professional sports. They have the best fans. We all know it. Yankee fans know it. Yankee fans know that we have the best team, that we have the best franchise, that we are the best fans, and everybody else is just jealous.
Come on, Johnny, spill the beans. Just tell everybody you and Judge have the same drug guy.
Oh, Johnny. Yeah, John. If Aaron Judge is on the juice, what are you on?
Juice, baby, juice. Johnny knows.
Johnny
Johnny's
North.
not on juice. Johnny's
We're all
on natural.
collecting belts this week. Johnny North won
Yes,
the
let's talk
Pro
about Johnny.
Wrestling X North
Bravo, Johnny.
Heritage Championship. What is it
Northern
called?
Heritage Championship.
Northern
The 2024
Heritage
Northern
Championship.
Heritage Championship. He won it in Toronto, Ontario, man. And this guy came. I saw the fight, on YouTube. Johnny is an official champion here at the Ringside Report, man. That's a big thing, man.
Yeah. John
That's
won
a huge
belt.
thing.
I got a belt. We're all getting belts.
That's right.
A lot of belts being collected on this show. Look at us. We got a couple purple belts and a brown belt. Hey, AJ, Fred and I were joking before the show,
What happened?
before you got on. We said we're probably going to get our black belts before you get yours.
Probably, and I hope you
At this
do, man.
rate. I'm pretty sure you
At
were a
this
brown belt when Fred and I were still white belts. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, well, technically, I'm would consider third stripe at this point. But in fact, one of my jiu-jitsu coaches.
You'd have to put in some more
came to
mat
see me
time, I
today.
think, to get those stripes, though, dude. No.
Well, today, man, I did pretty good. I was even though I'm still training, dude. And I think Monday, like I was talking with Freddie, I think I'll be bringing my little guy to the jiu-jitsu mat because it's been okayed. Somebody's got to watch him. I just got to make sure that he's if he could come to the mat, it would be great as long as he doesn't walk across the mat because it can be a bit dangerous.
Monday.
But yeah, Monday. One of my
Where?
jiu-jitsu coaches came to see me, my buddy, and at Angry Monkey, man.
You're going Monday?
My coach Brock, yeah.
Oh.
Oh, not Monday. The Monday's a holiday, man.
Yeah, that's why you
It'll have
go.
to be Wednesday then. Then I'll go Wednesday.
Fred, how's your hip?
Not too bad. I went to train today.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
He's
Okay.
a beast, man. Freddy's on the juice.
Oh,
He
yeah,
doesn't
I
care.
saw your picture on Instagram on the morning crew. I know you were training today. I saw you. I see you, Fred. I see you. You going
That's
Monday?
right, Johnny. A Montreal or Winston, Toronto. It's about time.
Yeah, probably, man.
Yeah, oh, it's a holiday, man. I'm not working. Let's go.
Thanksgiving, bud.
I'll see if I
You
can
guys
hit
are
up the
open.
Monday class with you. Why not? That'd be good. Monday morning.
Are
All
you
right,
sure
guys.
you guys are open?
Yeah, of course,
got the
man. 10th
key.
Planet is open every day. Christmas, whatever. We're always rolling. Come on, man.
Pagans, man. That's okay.
Yo. Love 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah. So that was cool. Look at us. Look
So
at us
Dave,
doing
man.
the things. Huh? What do you say?
I was like, what's up, man? What's going on, guys?
Well,
MMA.
Alex
talk some
Pereira
MMA.
is who I want to talk about tonight.
Exactly.
He beat Khalil Roundtree as we figured he would.
Well, Khalil looked good coming in, right? Let's be honest.
What do you mean?
He looked jacked. He looked in shape. And,
Yeah.
even, look, I don't want to take away from Pereira because that was the most devastating fight I've seen of Pereira. He was just an executioner. The guy was so precise. The guy is probably one of the best fighters I've ever seen. And I'm talking at the same ranks of John Jones here. But I got to give some credit to Khalil Roundtree to be able to survive that as long as he did because, man, that was a beatdown. If anybody wants to see what a beatdown is, that was it. And it was like a tactical beatdown. It was incredible. We were watching it live, obviously, and let me tell you, man, I'm glad I'm not Khalil Roundtree because I'm sure he's still aching today.
Would you believe that Alex Pereira in that fourth round was actually losing the fight?
I don't believe that. That doesn't make sense at all.
It's the truth.
No,
It's
I know,
it's true.
and that's the scary
I'm
part.
telling you, on the judges' scorecards, all three judges had given Khalil Roundtree the first two rounds, and then the third round for Alex Pereira. But Alex Pereira, and I could pull it up
Scary.
for you as proof, Alex Pereira in that fourth round he may, if he didn't knock out Roundtree, I mean, who cares about the scores, right? But if he had just won the round, I think he would have just been tied 2-2, and we would have had a final round that would have decided the whole fight, which is kind of nuts because that's not how we saw it. We were watching the fight, and we kind of figured that Pereira had won at least the second.
Let's see this.
But no.
Who's the judges? Sal D'Amato? Okay.
Sal D'Amato, Derek Cleary, and Chris Lee.
Yeah,
all
Chris Lee. There
scoring round 1 and 2 for Khalil Roundtree, and round 3, as you see there, for Alex Pereira, who did score the knockout in the 4th round.
Yeah,
and I would even say that, sure, maybe Khalil won the first 2 rounds, but Pereira definitely. Well, say you want to give him the first 2 rounds, right? Say you're going to say, okay, fine, give him the first 2 rounds. They were close-ish. The 3rd round was not close.
Jose.
You know what I mean? The 3rd round was like, oh, yeah, Pereira is starting to put it on him and find his rhythm and find his timing. And then the 4th round, it was just the obliteration. So, the scores don't always tell the whole story. Khalil was scoring in the first couple of rounds, but in the 3rd round, Pereira was doing real damage. And you could see him open up and find his range and find his space and figure out everything that Khalil Roundtree was throwing at him.
Yeah, he was wearing him down. That was his game. Like, his game plan was to wear down Khalil, which he did. For sure, he's going to get, probably in vulnerable positions, which he really wasn't. That's why I have a hard time seeing how they saw the fight 1 and 2 for Khalil. Because first round, if I'm not mistaken, the strike count was for Pereira, regardless. And,
that first round was pretty tight. And the second round, I think, is the round where look, I gave the first 2 to Pereira, but the first round was pretty tight. And the second round, I think, is the one where Roundtree had a nice kick and also a nice punch at some point, like that phased Pereira in the second round. So I could understand the argument of some people wanting to give it to him. I'm happy Pereira managed to not go to decision, because imagine if Roundtree steals another round and wins, 48-47, and you look at both guys' face, Pereira looks perfect, and Roundtree looks like he's been through a meat grinder. So I don't know, man. That judging could have been a little bit controversial, but yeah, I could see an argument for giving Roundtree the first 2 rounds. I had Pereira winning the first 2 rounds, and also you should give the champion a benefit of the doubt in close rounds, I guess. Or I don't know. I'm just happy he finished it. And Pereira, if anything, also showed like this guy has good cardio, because the first 2 rounds they were tight, and 3 and 4 his cardio took over, his pace took over, and he just took over the fight. So great fight for Pereira, and impressive.
He looked great.
You're right, man.
He is one of the best that we've ever seen, for sure. At this point, he is one of the greatest fighters we've ever seen in the UFC. The question is, what's next? I think that's the big question. What is next for Alex Pereira? Now, John Jones, I think, is kind of a fantasy booking, and that's a fun matchup. But John Jones has Stipe Miocic next. And the UFC, if John Jones wins, because he's the heavyweight champion, the next fight would have to be against Tom Aspinall, because he's the interim champion.
Nah, man. Next fight is whatever Dana wants to make, man.
Okay. But I don't think Dana wants to make Jones and Pereira. I think he's more interested in making Jones and Aspinall. From everything I've seen from Dana White, he doesn't seem to like the idea of Jones and Pereira at all.
He probably likes it when he starts to see. Yeah, he'll like it when he starts seeing the ching, man. And that's the thing with Dan. It's all about the Benjamins. So and let's be honest, there'll be no bigger Benjamins right now than seeing Pereira fighting John Jones after the devastation that he did on Khalil Roundtree. That thing, man.
What's a bigger fight you could do?
Yeah, man, and you see it on all the mainstream media on news, from CNN to Fox to whatever. They're showing like Pereira. I mean, that's the thing. Pereira's all over, and if he's not getting, I mean, he's getting huge. He's getting to Conor huge at this point. Let's be honest.
No.
And you know,
come on.
yeah, man, he's getting
He's
there.
not.
Man. He's getting there.
No, he's not.
Well, look, Conor is because of his controversy, but Pereira is up there right now as a 2-time champion, man. And you know what? He's
Yeah, but
going to
he's
make
not
it 3
selling-
times.
okay.
That's not how
I don't
you
know.
quantify
I don't know.
things.
That's
man.
not Conor level. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
He's getting
Conor,
up to Conor level, man.
Conor level of what? Selling pay-per-views? No, he's
Well,
not.
Being known to the
Conor-
regular.
Conor wishes he was half the fighter that Alex Pereira is.
Well, yeah, I give you that much.
Okay?
But
so
I'm
Pereira,
just saying
better
is that,
fighter. Pereira, better, skilled, better. Overall, better, more consistent, all that stuff. But selling pay-per-views, he just fought Khalil Roundtree, man. That thing
I
sold
know,
nothing.
but
I got
that's
a
the thing,
crazy
it's because
nothing.
it's
take
Khalil.
about. I got a crazy take about Conor, man. I think Conor should consider. Like, it's unfortunate that MMA is not at the level of other sports right now. Because in the NFL, Tom Brady just signed a contract with Fox to be a broadcaster for like $300 million. And you know what,
What?
man? Every week, yeah. Well, he signed a contract like a
Jesus.
year ago. But Conor every week is commentating the fights, man. Conor's a fucking fight fan, man. I'll give him that, man. And I'd love to see him as a broadcaster. That's my crazy take about Conor, man. His fighting days are over. Somebody, man, throw some money to Conor for him to be a broadcaster. I'm sure he'd be great.
He'd be so
good.
good.
I think you're right. Yeah, he would be so good, and I think that's a great idea and proposition for Eddie. Because honestly, man, who wouldn't want to watch Conor commentating? You're right. Every fight, and even the fight nights,
He's always
even the fight
on Twitter.
Saturday,
He always has opinions,
Yeah.
man.
yeah, but
yeah,
And
on
he's-
every fight.
but he would jump in and try to start fighting people.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
It wouldn't work.
Well,
It
it
wouldn't work.
depends, man.
Just put him
You
in
know,
his
you
own
throw
little
300
cage that
million.
he can't get out of.
Or give him his own show.
Yeah.
The Don Cherry of MMA.
I
True,
mean,
that's
he
a
would
good
be
point,
fun.
Freddie.
You know, maybe when he's a little older and he settles down, he'll, do that. I think that would work. But I
Bring
want
Don
to talk
Cherry
about
back.
what's next for for Pereira, not what's next for Conor. Now, you guys
It's
are
it's
saying,
John Jones, man.
but Fred, that's not actually going to happen.
It might, dude. I think it might happen sooner than we think.
I mean, look, okay, say that's a pick, okay? It's possible. I don't think it really has a shot of happening. From anything Dana White has said, oh, that's a fair ball. Can you get to second base, Giancarlo? Yes, you can. Get in there. That's a double. Yes, Stanton. Playoff G. Oh, he's incredible. I don't think it's going to happen. I think they're going to go with Jones and Aspinall for the undisputed heavyweight title if Jones decides to fight again after this. I think that's probably where they go, even though I agree that Pereira is the biggest money fight. That said, if Pereira is going to defend his title against another light heavyweight, another guy in the division, who is it? So
I mean, Ankalaev is fighting Rakic, so if he
Yes.
wins, he's probably the normal, the legit contender.
I agree, and I think that if Ankalaev does beat Rakic at UFC 308 in a couple of weeks, then Ankalaev would be the logical next step for Pereira. Problem with that is he could beat Pereira and then screw up a lot of super fights with John Jones or whoever, right? Like, Ankalaev is a legit threat. Stylistically, he's difficult. He's got wrestling. You know, it's not Khalil Roundtree who's going to stand up. Whoa. Thank you.
Sit gig.
Yeah.
Welcome, man.
So I think Ankalaev is a tough one. Ankalaev could also lose to Rakic. Things happen. Fights happen, right?
True.
If Rakic wins, I think you go with Blachowicz. I think you go with Jan Blachowicz up against, because he fought Pereira back in July of 2023. It was a 3-rounder, and he lost a split decision. It was a close fight. And I think you could do it again for the belt. Because if Rakic wins, I mean, you could put Rakic up there against Pereira, but Jan Blachowicz has a win over Rakic, TKO win. I mean, I think you could maybe give Blachowicz the fight. It's either Blachowicz, Rakic, or Ankalaev. I think, honestly, it's going to be one of those three that's next for Alex Pereira. Not John Jones, not Tom Aspinall, not Anderson Silva, none of those guys. Not Rodrigo Nogueira. It's going to be Rakic or Ankalaev. I think those two guys are the front runners. But don't be surprised if Rakic wins against Ankalaev that we see Jan Blachowicz get the title shot instead.
Yeah, but like, let's look at it from the John Jones perspective. Like, how many fights does he really have left?
1 against Stipe Miocic next month.
Exactly. So
I don't think he's going to fight past
you know,
that. I think he's going to retire after beating Stipe. So,
and that's the problem, because we saw that with GSP, man, and we saw that with Khabib, man. Like, there's certain fights that if you don't capture it, I mean, they're going to be gone. And that would have been blockbuster pay-per-views. And Dana White knows that. He blew it with the Khabib fight. He blew it with the George St. Pierre fight. You've got an opportunity for John Jones to beat Stipe, which he will beat him like in the first round, I'm pretty sure. And I don't want to say that because I love Stipe. But let's be honest, man. You know, with like his hips and all the rest of those injuries and being out of the fight game for how many years now? You know, and we saw what John Jones did to Cyril Gane. Even John Jones would love to entertain the fact to go up against Pereira, because that would be a blockbuster pay-per-view, man. And if you don't get it done within the year or the early part of next year, it's going to be gone. It's going to be exactly what we always say.
Yeah,
who would have won
happen.
between Khabib and George? Man, it's going to happen. And I'm sure
John
John
be one
Jones
of those
wants
what
it
ifs.
too.
It's not going to actually happen, I don't think.
Man,
I don't think the UFC has any plan to do it.
Look, they blew it with the Khabib GSP. Are they going to do that again? You know,
yes.
I think Jones wants to fight him. I think Jones wants to fight Pereira. And Jones, man, could legitimately beat him.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
He's going to retire.
Look, man, he's been training with, like, beasts in the wrestling side. Like, he's been with Gable and all the rest of these guys. You know? Gordon Ryan. Why is he training with all these guys for?
I mean, he might retire, but I always think of John Jones as the guy that probably missed so many paydays because he's had a lot of issues throughout his career that, man, this guy should probably want an extra payday always. So Stipe is an easy payday for him, I feel, and I think Pereira could be a good payday for him, and I'm sure he thinks the same way. So I wouldn't be surprised he would want that fight. Now, maybe it's not in the plans of the UFC, but John Jones, for him, man, he wants. I would think he wants some good paydays, and for Pereira, the next fight, it has to be the winner of Ankalaev or Rakic, I guess, and probably if it's Ankalaev, he's the one that's getting the title fight. He should, anyways.
You think he can beat Pereira?
Ankalaev?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. But with that said, man, yeah, Ankalaev has a different set of skills that's going to bring challenges to Pereira. Mm-hmm. But with that said, man, Ankalaev, I think I read a quote where he says, like, oh, yeah, I'm not scared of striking with a Pereira. And Pereira, man, can knock out pretty much anybody, man. Whereas, you see, if John Jones were to fight Pereira, I would expect John Jones to have a similar approach to his Cyril Gane fight where he's not going to put himself in danger. He's not going to trade with Pereira standing up. He's going to figure a way to get that takedown quick and capitalize from it. So, again, that's the matchup I would love to see. But, yeah, Ankalaev versus Pereira is a great matchup. If Ankalaev wants to put all his chances on his side, don't strike too much with Pereira, man. Pereira has shown that he's a killer on the striking side.
Yeah, I think it's best to avoid that. If you can take him down, why wouldn't you? Why stand with Alex Pereira?
Listen, it's insane. And look, what I was telling you guys before, before we went on air, I was talking about like the whole Mark Goddard thing. I was reading what he said, and he said that in 20 years of reffing, he's never seen the power and the shots given by an opponent like Pereira. He says in 20 years, man, he called it ungodly, man. Kept using the word ungodly. He was freaking out. Never seen anything like that in 20 years. That shows you the level of Pereira. That's why it's so important to put him up against another magic man, and that's John Jones. You've got two guys that are like almost like fictional cartoon characters, man, superheroes. You got to get these guys while they still have the fight in them. And John Jones' time is ticking, but the guys that he's training with, he's training for a reason, man. And the way to beat Pereira, and today I had a huge debate with a lot of guys saying that we've never really seen Pereira's skill on the ground. And let me tell you, he's training with Glover, one of the best jiu-jitsu guys out there on a daily basis. Pereira's jiu-jitsu and wrestling is up there. But is it enough to be able to stop a John Jones? I'm telling you.
I don't think so.
That's what everybody's saying is Pereira's game on the ground, like top elite. We don't really know that. You know what I mean? We don't really know that. And the only guy that'll be able to expose that is a guy like John Jones. That's why we need to see it. Everybody wants to see it. And I'm telling you, man, it's going to be a blockbuster. And when I got back to the Conor thing I was saying before, everybody's talking about Pereira and this Amazon killer and this guy. Everybody is talking about him. And the last time I heard people talking about him that are not big UFC fans, just regular fans saying, hey, who is this guy that destroyed this guy on Saturday, this Pereira? His name is coming up more often than ever. And that's what I'm trying to say. His mystique is rising, man. He's up there.
Yeah, well, Pereira had one of those nights where people weren't really talking about the fight beforehand. They weren't really aware that he was fighting beforehand. But then when they saw his work, when they saw what he did to Khalil Roundtree, Khalil Roundtree's face was making the rounds. People saw what Pereira had done, and it was just another chapter in the book of legendary performances from Alex Pereira. Great performance. Can't wait to see what he does next. He's awesome. Love that guy. Everybody loves that guy. Everybody seems to really love Alex Pereira. He's become a quick fan favorite. And why not? The UFC 2 nights ago on Dana White's Contender Series signed a man who won a fight and was the last man in kickboxing to defeat Alex Pereira. His name is Artem Vakitov, and he's the last man to beat Pereira in kickboxing, and he's now in the UFC.
Yeah, I heard about that. That's interesting. Yeah, that guy is, yeah, you're right. I heard about him. Dana knows.
Be careful. Could be next. Speaking of next, Dana White confirming next title shot for the UFC Middleweight Championship. Dricus du Plessis will be fighting Sean Strickland.
Wow.
Strickland's getting the next shot. So they're not waiting for the winner of Khamzat and Whitaker. Strickland's going to get the next title shot. Not Khamzat.
Good.
I agree.
Yep. I like that.
Yeah.
It's going to be an exciting one, man.
Yeah.
That's going to be a brawl.
Well, their first fight was so close. I feel like you owe it to Strickland to do it again. He beat Adesanya. His next fight was a very close split decision loss to Dricus. And I felt like, he needed another shot. He's been beating the competition. It's time for Strickland to get back in there. I think that's the right move. I think the fight goes similar, though. I think Dricus wins a close decision again.
I don't know, man. That's going to be a hard one.
It'll be a close fight for sure.
Yeah, I see another decision. Not sure which way, but yeah, another 5-round that's similar to the last fight.
Mm-hmm. And Juliana Pena won the UFC Women's Bantamweight Championship on Saturday, right?
Right.
And she didn't call out Kayla Harrison, who had a win on the card. She called out Amanda Nunes, wanted her to come out of retirement and fight her again. And now Amanda is maybe talking about doing that. So there's a possibility that Amanda Nunes comes out of retirement and we see Nunes, Pena 3. What would you guys rather see? Juliana Pena's next title defense. Amanda Nunes in the trilogy fight, or Kayla Harrison? New fighter, new blood. Very impressive so far.
Nunes is not coming down, man.
I'd go with the trilogy, man. I think it's, unfinished business. They're 1-1. I would do it one more time. If you could get Amanda Nunes out of retirement, I say you do it. She's a star. She can sell pay-per-views.
Who would you pick, Dave?
You know who I'm picking.
Dave.
I'm picking Juliana motherfucking Pena.
Yeah, right. That's.
I'll tell you, no matter what matchup,
I don't pick
whether
quitters.
it's Kayla,
I pick people who stay in the game, not retirees.
Whether
Listen,
it's Kayla or Amanda, they're both gonna beat Juliana.
Whatever.
Yep, I
the
agree with
judges
Freddie
saved
there.
Juliana on Saturday
Listen,
night.
man.
I don't know what happened.
Listen, man. Listen, let's not forget it was a 10-8 first round for Amanda Nunes against Pena. Like, let's not forget that. Somebody who was on COVID, having like all kinds of like issues. She was like broken, and she beat her 10-8 in the first round, Dave. That's not happening. If I want to see something, I want to see Kayla, because Kayla is, to me, a true champion, man. This girl is destined to be the champion. Amanda Nunes is not going to come back. She did her thing. She knows she could smash Pena, even half broken again. I don't know. You like Juliana Pena, to crazy levels. I like her, but I don't think she's at the same level as an Amanda Nunes, a healthy Amanda as we saw, or a Kayla that's healthy. If Kayla's look, think about Saturday's fight. A week before that fight, she was peeing blood, dude, and she still managed to win. That's what you call a tough fighter. She was in the hospital, dude. I know, but it happens. Usually that happens with dehydration. I've seen that live, man, and it's not a good thing. You start dehydrating, man, it's hard, man, and your kidneys get affected, and the next thing you know, you're peeing blood. Not a good sign, but she still managed to destroy her on Saturday.
Wow. Down goes Homer. Okay, well.
Down goes Homer.
So we've got a fight on Saturday. Hey, did you know next Saturday in Saudi Arabia, Francis Ngannou is finally making his return to MMA against Hernan Pereira for PFL? Francis Ngannou will be fighting his first MMA fight since beating Cyril Gane way back in January 2022. First time he's stepping back into an MMA fight, taking on the very tough, very dangerous 34-year-old Hernan Pereira, who has won 4 straight fights by knockout, including a first-round 21-second knockout of Ryan Bader in his last fight of February of this year. So he's far more active, very dangerous, hits like a truck, has been finished a couple of times, but I don't know.
Yeah,
this is an interesting fight here for Ngannou, and I'm definitely going to bet on Pereira to win this fight.
Really?
Definitely.
Wow.
Yes,
okay.
100%.
Wow. All right.
He's going to beat Francis Ngannou.
I don't know about that. But
Have you not watched MMA before? This is how this works.
Forget who Ngannou is?
I think you forget that taking over 2 years away from the sport and then training a totally different sport.
We saw
really
John
work
Jones
out.
do the same thing, Dave.
He was training in a different sport? Did he train in a different sport, or was he preparing
He wasn't
for his
training
MMA
in any
comeback?
sport. He was training in back shots of whiskey. That's about it at one point.
Wow, John
That's
Jones
the
is the greatest
difference,
of all
man.
time. He could actually pull that off.
Well,
Don't
We'll
worry,
see,
AJ.
man.
You can apologize when Francis Ngannou is looking up at the lights, getting knocked out again. How long ago was that vicious concussion that he suffered in that boxing match? How's his brain feeling, you think?
listen, man.
I'm listening.
Look, it happens. It happens.
Francis gonna lose. He's 38 years old.
So what? The other guy's 34, man. It's not like a huge difference. You're in that mark.
It
man.
actually is a huge difference in MMA. 34 and 38 is massive. That's
They're still in the same bracket, literally. You know what I mean? One's past 35, which is dangerous. I agree with you. And one is right at 35. I don't know, man. Like, one thing with Ngannou, man, he looked in top shape in that boxing match. Things didn't go his way, but he
The
still
boxing
delivered
match
quite
where
a
he
bit.
was knocked unconscious in the second round.
Shit happens, man.
Okay.
But this is not a
Did you
boxing
say he
match. This is an MMA
what?
match.
He looked great or what? Come on,
Like
man.
physically. I'm talking physically. Like, he was in top shape and everything. That's one thing with Ngannou. He always is ready to fight. So we'll see. I mean, it'll be interesting to see him come back and see what he does. But I think he'll
Gonna
do
lose.
I
very
mean,
well.
the guy's old, hasn't fought in MMA in a long time.
Yep.
I don't know, man. Look, he technically he's the lineal heavyweight champion, man. He's the guy that never lost the belt. But I feel like 2 years away, that's gonna hurt him, man. Look what it did to Connor.
Francis Ngannou minus 300. Hernan Ferreira plus 225 right now. Jump on it. I'm jumping on it. I'm telling you. This has got all the makings of an upset. An easy upset, too. The more, Ferreira's just more active. He's been knocking people out. He's dangerous
He's
as
a
hell.
big guy, also. I think. He's
Yeah,
he's a
huge.
pretty.
Yeah. He can match Francis physically. He's been knocking people out recently, not getting knocked out. Like, he's 4 years younger. He's been fighting in PFL regular. This is Francis's first fight in PFL. Like, come on. Come on. AJ, I'm telling you. It's going down. I called this a long time ago. When they announced that it was going to be Hernan Ferreira, I said, you know who Hernan Ferreira is? He's the guy that's going to beat Francis Ngannou in the PFL. You remember when I said that?
Yeah, you did say that.
Uh-huh. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Francis is going down next week. It'll be interesting to see how the world reacts to that.
I don't know, man. Listen, and then November comes, and then we got another old-timer who's, I think, is going to knock out the young gun, like Tyson against Jake Paul. So that's another one that we're seeing some, like, older guys. And I honestly think that Ngannou's going to still do very well. And I think Tyson is going to do extremely well. And not to take away from Jake Paul, because I think, he's done amazing stuff. But let's not forget, Dave.
That's
let's
November
not forget
15th.
who Ngannou was. November 15th, man. And then Mike Tyson is coming right in, man. November 15th, right on my son's birthday, man. November 15th.
It's a Friday night they're doing that fight. That's
right,
weird.
man.
Huh.
Well, Friday night boxing, man. Yeah, it's normal.
Okay.
gonna be crazy,
Saturday
man.
night, we got Brandon Royval against Tetsuro Taira.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one.
Tetsuro Taira, 24 years old, 16-0 from Okinawa, Japan. This guy,
Karate Kid.
he's been on a run here in the UFC, looking really good.
Yep.
This is a big fight for him at flyweight. Title shot could be on the line. Tetsuro Taira is the great Japanese hope right now in the UFC. I remember a time when every MMA card had at least a Japanese guy on it. There were far more Japanese fighters in the UFC just a few years ago compared to right now. So it's nice to see.
Pride.
Well, yeah, I mean, in Pride there were so many, right? And so many came out of that. It just felt like, Brazil and Japan was where you were getting a lot of talent that was outside of the U.S. Now it seems like Russia has taken over a large
Dagestan.
chunk of the market. Dagestan, like every other fighter's from Dagestan these days. But you don't see too many Japanese guys in the UFC at all, let alone main eventing, let alone becoming, championship contenders. And correct me if I'm wrong, AJ, because you're very old and you remember everything. Well, you don't remember everything, but you're old.
I remember
you've been
Mike
around.
Tyson, and he's still going to smash on November 15th. Go ahead.
Yeah, as Tyson's getting beat up too, AJ. That's crazy talk.
I don't think so, man.
Has there ever been a Japanese UFC champion?
No, I was going to say Sakuraba at the time in Pride and all that coming.
That's not
UFC.
UFC,
No, I
though.
don't think so. No, I don't
don't
think
know.
so.
Not in the modern era.
I'm
at
trying
least.
to think. No, not
Paul
that I can
Uno
think
never
of.
won the title, right?
No. Neither did
No.
Yushin Okami.
And listen, man, Japan pumped out so many great fighters, like you said, but you're right. There's no
Kid
UFC champion.
Yamamoto,
Any female?
But this Tatsuro
No.
Taira is
Kyoji
close to being a champ.
Horiguchi, Shinya Aoki. I mean, so many great fighters. So
You know what I'm
many.
saying? If they have one hope, it's this guy right here, Taira. Like,
That's it.
he's close. If he could beat Brandon Royval, he's up next for a title shot. This kid is something, man. 24 years old. When you look at his stats, I was looking at his stats and looking at his fights. I was like, holy shit, man, this kid is really good. 24 years old. He has like 65% significant strike count. I mean, like, and this kid can grapple. That's the one thing where I think he's going to beat Brandon Royval is on the ground. He's going to take him, and I have a feeling he's going to submit him. If he's able to do that, because Brandon Royval is the #1 ranked, UFC flyweight contender, Japan has a chance right here, and I think this kid might be able to do it.
We will give you our picks and our parlays right after this.
We will return to Ringside Report MMA in just a moment. But first, here is a word from one of our affiliated sponsors.
I need to tell you about our friends over at X Marshall. The roar of the crowd thrums in your ears, and the lights seem impossibly bright. You stand in the octagon, the center of a universe focused on one thing: combat. Unlike a gladiator of old, you're not limited to a single weapon. In the ever-evolving world of MMA, success hinges on mastering a diverse arsenal, striking, takedowns, ground control, and submissions. But where do you begin? Fear not, aspiring fighter. X Marshall is your corner man. Inspired by legends like Khabib Nurmagomedov, our gear is designed to withstand the most intensive training regimens, from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and grappling to MMA. Made with a quality mixture of materials, our products feature reinforced seams with double flat lock stitching and gel panel technologies for maximum comfort. We provide high-quality rash guards and cost-effective gear and services. X Marshall stands out as the flashiest and fastest-growing brand in the jiu-jitsu community. People wanted cool gear, and X Marshall delivered with style and swankiness that made everyone go, wow. With 300 sponsored athletes and tens of thousands of dollars in gear and cash giveaways, X Marshall reinvests a healthy chunk of its profits back into the community that fueled its growth. Check out the Dojo Roadshow, where the X Marshall team travels the U.S. in an RV, visiting gyms, taking on challenges, and hanging out with jiu-jitsu legends. They meet athletes, have challenges, and sponsor them along the way. It's not just gear, it's a movement. Buckle up and roll with X Marshall right now. You get 15% off the entire store at xmarshall.com using the code RINGSIDE at checkout. Stand bold, stand out, X Marshall. Indeed.
Good
And now
promo,
our
man.
picks
do it.
and our parlays for UFC Vegas Royval versus Taira. I'm going with Tetsuro Taira in the main event. I think he gets it done. I'm very impressed with this guy. I've loved what I've seen so far. I think he's got a bright future. I think he's going to fight
Agreed.
for the title.
Agree, Super Dave.
What?
I agree with you, man. I think
nice.
this kid is going to be champion, man. First Japanese champion. It's coming. The Gonzilla's coming.
The what?
Is it Godzilla or Gonzilla? Or
Godzilla.
Gonzaga?
That's something else. It's Godzilla, I'm pretty sure. Shout out Angelo in the chat, cheering for the Royals.
Opa.
Oh, I take the shout out back, Angelo. Taking it back.
Ooh.
Also, Johnny
They're
North.
ganging up on Dave.
GFY Johnny North.
Johnny's like
Going-
leading the
cheering
pack
for the
there, man.
Royals. Freaking jabronis, man. Why would you even do that? Why not support Dave, you know? People want to shit on the Yankees. You want to go after me, you know? You don't understand. I love the Yankees, okay? My kids love the Yankees. Don't disrespect us. Don't go against the family.
Can't forget the great
terribly
Babe
wrong.
Ruth, man.
Hey, Fred.
Ooh, Freddie too, man. It's coming hard.
Oh, what happened to the team you like, the Astros? They absolutely suck. They're not even in the playoffs anymore. Such losers.
No more garbage cans.
Losers. Yeah, they don't have the garbage can anymore. They can't cheat.
Oscar is
Suck.
gone, man. He's out of a job.
Strike 3, Royals. Sit down. Garrett Cole is smoking, you fools. 1-0 Yankees after 3. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Let's go.
Talk about your jacket there, Dave, where you got it. That's a really nice jacket. People want to know, man.
It is
Inquiry
a nice
minds.
jacket. It's the official jacket of the Yankees. This is what they wear in the dugout. Yeah, thank you. That is
What
a sound
the-
effect that was appropriate when Garrett Cole struck that guy out on 3 pitches. That's it. Thank you. Garrett Cole looking great right now. Whew. Gives me confidence to see him pitching like this. This game is rolling along nicely. It's the most fun game to watch in this series so far. They've all been really close and tough and difficult. I mean, it's only 1-0, but we started with a lead and then we're just holding it. And Garrett Cole's pitching well, and the Royals looks frustrated. It's good. It's good.
Didn't Bo
And,
Jackson play for the Royals? The great Bo?
Yeah, whatever. The Yankees,
What are you talking about?
they're just a few innings away from advancing to the American League Championship Series, which would be really, really amazing. Really great.
Let's go Expos.
The Guardians up 4-3 in the top of the 9th. Guardians facing elimination, must-win scenario for them. If they
That's what you
win,
get for changing your logo.
they force a Game 5. If they lose, they're out, and the Tigers advance to the ALCS. So, Guardians in a good position, though, right now. Up 4-3 in the 9th. Looking to win and force a 5th and deciding game in the series, which would be pretty intense. The Dodgers and the Padres are going to Game 5. That goes down tomorrow night. The Mets have already advanced to the National League Championship Series. They'll face the winner of the Padres-Dodgers game in the NLCS. So, a lot of baseball going on. Getting down to the wire. Getting down to the Final Four. The
Boy,
Final
yeah, I think
Four
you're right,
teams
DJ.
remaining. Huh?
I think DJ's right, man. This is what it's going to be, man.
Yankees against the Mets is what I predicted.
That's going to be
I
crazy,
predicted
man.
that at the beginning of the playoffs. I thought that's where we were going, and I think that is where we're going. Let's go to the parlays. Do you have a parlay? I'm gonna go with Taira and this card sucks. I'll go with Taira on my parlay and what makes sense even.
It's really a hard
I
card
have
to
one.
pick, man.
I got Taira and Chidi.
Chidi's not bad. I was thinking about doing Taira and Chidi.
Yeah, I said to myself, I'll say it before Dave does. So
Yeah. Taira and Chidi. Okay. It's not bad. What are the odds on Fremd? Where's Fremd at?
you know what, man? I
What
think
is-
Tavares might win, but I'm a little iffy on it.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
You want to go with Josh Friend? Are you serious?
I don't know.
Okay. I wouldn't do
Abdul
it, Dave.
Razak Al Hassan has not won a lot of fights.
Yeah, but he's a powerhouse, man.
Ooh, Fremd is the underdog. That's interesting.
Yeah, man. Even though like Abdul Razak is almost 40, man, but he's still dangerous.
How old is Fremd? Fremd is younger. 30 years old. I don't know. I'm going to go with Fremd in that one. Okay? So my parlay is going to be Taira and Fremd. Josh Fremd, giving you a little bit of value because Fremd is a slight underdog. Plus
Yeah.
130. So this is the Team Dave parlay. It's Tetsuro Taira and Josh Fremd. 20 gets you 61.33 over at bet99.ringsidereport.net. How about it? That's a Team Dave parlay. Fremd and Taira. And then the Team Fred parlay is similar to this, right? You went with what? Taira and Chidi?
Chidi.
Man, that's a tough one with the Chidi, man. That could go either or, man. Wow.
That's gambling, baby. Chidi and Taira is the Team Fred parlay. 20 gets you 41.90. Chidi is the favorite. Taira is the favorite.
Chidi,
AJ,
Chidi, gangbang.
What do you got for me? What do you got?
Listen, man, I'm going with Tetsuro for sure, man. I'm going with like the future Japanese champion. Then I'm gonna go with my kimchi pick, man, because I love South Korean. I love Korean food, and I think June Park is some. Listen, I think June Park is gonna be able to take the win over Brad Tavares. This guy he's exciting. I like when he fights, super aggressive, man. He's action packed. He's coming with kimchi power, man.
AJ, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Is English your first language?
No, it's actually Italian, but go ahead.
Okay.
Tell me.
That makes sense. No, it's okay.
Why?
I'm just trying to figure. Because your English is
Kimchi,
kind of broken
man.
sometimes, and I'm wondering why.
Broken? Where the hell was it broken? I said kimchi, man. Can't you hear?
I bet his
Chidi
Italian
and
is broken.
Jokwani? What did he say? What did he say?
I bet his Italian is broken.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Well, it used to be much better. You're right.
Incomprehensible, I would say.
Oh, I feel it. Oh, man. When are you going to be on the mat again, Dave?
What?
I'll make you earn that brown belt.
Yeah, all right. I'm not really worried about you anymore, AJ.
Oh, you should be, man.
At one
the young
point, I
guys
was
today
like,
said the
AJ,
same
pretty
thing,
good.
and then
At this point, I think, I don't know. I practice a lot more than you do.
You do, but just like the young guys today. And then I had to show them what a guillotine is. But listen.
I know what a
30 years
guillotine
younger
is. I
than you.
practice way more than you do, and I'm younger than you.
You'd be surprised, dude. Who says I'm not practicing? I practice every day. Weights, pool, jiu-jitsu, boxing. I'm training, man.
I'm facing
I just
more
don't talk
levels.
about
Against
it so
kids
much.
or against
Yeah,
kids or
I'm a
against
BTT.
adults?
I'm a BTT guy. Don't forget that. Let's
Yeah, but you're
forget
not
that.
training there. If you were training there, I'd be like, okay.
Of course I am
yeah,
training.
But you're not really there.
Listen, let me give you the picks, man. With my
Yeah,
broken
give me the picks
English,
before I
my
expose
broken
you some more.
Hanglish. You can't expose shit, man, because I'm gonna whip your ass to make you get that brown belt now. Now
Bro,
the challenge is on.
Every time we invite you to come roll, we went to open mat 2 weeks ago. Like every time we invite you to come, you have some reason, Stop talking shit,
Yeah,
AJ. Just come and beat me up.
It's called
Come
a
and beat me
4-year-old
up, and then
kid
I'll
as
tell
a single
everybody on
dad.
the show how good you are and how you could beat me
I don't
up
have
and
to,
all
man.
these things.
I don't have to, man. You gotta earn that, not me.
I gotta earn what?
Man,
What am I
you gotta
earning?
earn it.
What is he talking
win.
about, Fred? What is he
You'll
saying?
see. You'll see, man. Don't
I
get me
can't
mad.
wait. I can't wait.
It's gonna happen.
But
But
I'm sure it'll be fun.
listen, but I expect you to do well, man.
I expect you to do well.
I'm
I
sure
expect
will.
it to be very difficult.
Not for
But
me.
I just want it to happen. You keep making threats over there. You're
It's not
threatening me with a
threats,
good
man.
time. You think I don't? You think that I never got beat up by somebody better than me at jiu-jitsu? I don't.
I trained at BTT for the longest time. Believe
Yeah,
me.
of
I know
course,
that. I
man.
know
If
that
you're doing
feeling, man.
jiu-jitsu, you're gonna run into people that are better than you, and they're gonna beat you. I'm not worried
like,
about getting beat by you,
hundreds of
AJ.
times.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna talk shit, like, let's
Hey,
do
listen,
it.
man, you're the
That's
guys that are
okay.
talking
Sounds
shit.
great.
Listen, man.
What?
You hear me ever talking? You're talking shit, not me.
You
man.
were the
I'm just
one,
saying,
like,
okay, man.
oh, when are you on the mats? I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna beat you. You were
what?
the
'Cause
one
you said-
threatening me.
Because you're the one who's saying I'm making excuses. There's no excuses. It's
I
called
said
being a
that
single dad as a
after you
4-year-old
made the
with a
threats,
4-year-old.
you silly fuck. What the
Oh, you
fuck, bro?
bastard.
You
Anyways,
got mad
regardless of
because
all
I was
that,
saying your Italian was broken, and then you started threatening me about
my
jiu-jitsu
Italian is
things.
broken. What makes you guys the experts in the linguistics of like the Italian language?
It's just
You're
when you
Canadian,
said
man, you're not Italian.
you're not
I am
really Italian,
Italian.
you're Canadian.
What? I'm the first generation. I'm the first Canadian born. I'll give you that.
And it's
much.
just because I was wondering if your first language was English because you pronounce Brad Tavares Tavares.
That's what I said. Tavares. That's what his name is.
Tavares.
Maybe to you, but not to me. Listen,
Yeah,
let me
not
give
to
you my
you
picks,
and your
man. Anyways, no. And then
Could you give me
joking
Chidi
aside,
and Jokuani and then get it over with? Stop
Listen,
talking and give me the
joking-
picks.
Listen, no joking. Joking aside, not no joking. Joking aside,
And Jacob.
I'm really proud of you getting your purple belt because that means a lot to me. That means you guys are sticking to it, and I really appreciate that. I do.
Thanks, man.
You don't understand. I do. It really means a lot to me because I love when people are taking the art and they're taking it to the levels that I expect jiu-jitsu to grow. I mean, like every time I see someone taking up the game with jiu-jitsu, and I see it all the time, I'm happy, man. You know, I don't care about the belts. I care about the fact that people love the sport, and especially if they try it.
Picks.
Anyways, let me give you my picks. So listen, I'm going to go with Tetsuro from Japan. Then I'm going to go with June Park from
Yes.
South Korea because I love Korea
Okay.
and the Korean women too, but that's another story.
Chill.
And then I'm going to go with, this is a tough one because most of these fights are really either or, man. It's so hard to pick. But I will go against the Josh Fremd. I think Abdul Razak, if he doesn't gas out, this guy is going to probably knock him out in the first round if he doesn't get disqualified. But that's the thing. I'm surprised you went with Josh Fremd. Even though Abdul is close to 40, the guy is dangerous. He's going to come out to finish the fight early, and that's going to be my pick. Abdul Razak.
Okay, so it's a 4-fight parlay.
Yeah, I wanted to go with more, but the rest don't interest me.
There we go.
They're not really good.
It's Team AJ's 4-fight parlay. Chidi and Jokuani, Abdul Razak Al Hassan, Tetsuro Taira, and Junyoung Park. 20 gets you $99.83 over at bet99.com.
How much? That's a pretty good one.
$99.83 for $20. That's a good parlay.
It's almost like
Team
Bet
AJ.
99. There's a meaning in that. Bet 99. 99.
Yeah. What's the meaning?
Take that pick. Look at that. Johnny's getting upset. You see that? He says Italian bashing is not necessary. Thank you, Johnny. Thank
I
you.
wasn't Italian bashing.
Listen,
I love
I come and support
Italians.
Johnny when he fights.
So do I.
Johnny's like isn't Johnny half Italian?
Yeah.
He's getting mad.
I'm saying that you're Italian speaking. I doubt it's great.
He's very good, actually.
Okay. If you say so.
What's the matter with you?
Oh.
Fanculo.
Ti faccio culo così. Fred,
see.
what was your parlay again? It was Taira and who? Chidi? Chidi.
Shitty.
Taira
Man,
and
that's a
Chidi
terrible
walk.
one. Ready.
Chidi.
Shitty.
All right,
Is
I'll
it
send
bang
you the
bang or
pics
gang
and the
bang?
thing. All right, guys. I'm going to be back tomorrow night for Wrestling
That's it?
Uncensored with Johnny North. We're going to preview AEW's Wrestle Dream. We got a big weekend ahead of us again here on the Ringside Report Network. AEW Wrestle Dream post show coming up on Saturday night. Johnny and I will be previewing AEW's Wrestle Dream and talking everything WWE and AEW tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, right after SmackDown, right here on the Ringside Report Network. All things pro wrestling, all things mixed martial arts. Thank you to all the members supporting and joining over at join.ringsidereport.net or membership.ringsidereport.net. Thank you. Angelo Contagonis in the chat, member of the team, over at join.ringsidereport.net, and everybody watching around the world on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Rumble, Kick, all the things. Thank you for supporting the Ringside Report Network. And we will all be back here next Thursday for more Ringside Report MMA. UFC 308 coming up October 26th. So we're just a couple of weeks away from another UFC pay-per-view. It'll be a watch-along we do in the afternoon because it'll be in Abu Dhabi. So that'll be very fun. Coming up, Holloway versus Topuria. Nasty fight for UFC 308. And that's it. I'll be back tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time on the Ringside Report Network.
Thanks for sticking with us to the end. We would really appreciate it if you could help us spread the word. Please share this episode on whichever social media platform you use. Add a comment below and consider reviewing us on Apple Podcasts. We are an audience-supported network, so consider becoming a recurring supporter at membership.ringsidereport.net. Check out our website at ringsidereport.net. Hope to see you again next time.